The feeling to willingly move crowds is so thrilling. Even Prince Charles is willing to pay shillings.
Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Songs in the Key of G with your host, me, Mark G. Today we're going to profile one of my favorite groups of all time. However, posting this video is bittersweet for me due to the recent passing of one of their members. Of course, I'm talking about De La Soul, and of course, I'm talking about Dave, aka Trugoy, aka The Dove, one of my all-time favorite MCs. You know, someone I almost felt like I knew. I grew up with De La Soul. I remember I got their first album in 1989. These guys are my same age. 3 Feet High and Rising was a huge record for me. Kind of reminds me of at the time I was living with some of my friends, and I was driving around in my buddy's car with the big fat subwoofer in the trunk, acting like it was mine, bumping Me, Myself, and I, and plug tuning. And it just makes me think of a really great time in my life. And like I said, it kind of feels like I grew up with these guys. I want to profile a song tonight that is not on my favorite De La album. It's, you know, if I had to pick a top De La song, I don't think it'd be the one, but it would be up there. But it was the first song that I thought of when I found out Dave passed away. And that song is Trying People from AOI Bionics. De La Soul consists of 3 members: Posdnuos, Trugoy, and Mace. Posdnuos and Trugoy, the MCs, Mace, the DJ. Back when they started to record demos together, they were kind of into this thing where they would flip words backwards. And Posdnuos used to be a DJ, and his DJ name was Sop Sounds, like sop it up with a biscuit, you're sopping up all the funk, basically. And when he became an MC, he flipped that backwards to Posdnuos. And Dave, a.k.a. Trugoy, was just being a little crazy, I guess, and he picked Trugoy for his name because that spells yogurt backwards. But you can see that right away they were much different, you know, in their mindset than other hip-hop groups of the day. That was why when Me, Myself, and I came out, and it was kind of talking about, you know, their own personal style versus, you know, what was considered to be acceptable hip-hop apparel and activity. These guys flipped it and they said, you know, you just have to be authentic. You don't have to act a certain way. Originally from Amityville, Long Island, the 3 guys went to high school together. They also ended up hooking up with their high school friend, Prince Paul, who became the DJ for Stetsasonic, and later was the one who kind of helped them pull their demos together. He was the producer of the first album, 3 Feet High and Rising. So 3 Feet High and Rising, you know, their whole image was much different than you know, what hip-hop was at the time. Painting these guys as hippies and, you know, peace, love, you know, that kind of thing. And they were rapping about that stuff, but don't get it twisted. Mace would knock your head off too, you know. These guys weren't soft dudes. They were just not into the pantomime of the day. They didn't feel like they had to act tough. That's why their next record, De La Soul is Dead, is a huge record for me too, because first of all, they called it De La Soul is Dead, right? But they wanted to shake that whole Daisy Age thing and really just be who they were. So I really think that showed that De La Soul was going to do whatever they wanted to do. And that was what really drew me to them. I just loved their music and I loved their way of viewing the world. So by the time their 3rd record came out, Buhloone Mindstate, I was all in. And then obviously Stakes is High. But the thing is, they have a body of work, and I could spend all night talking about all my favorite De La albums. But what we're really here to talk about is Trying People. It is a beautiful song, and it was the very first song that I thought of when Dave passed away. Now, the reason I immediately thought of it is for 2 reasons. Number one, because Dave has the first verse and it is incredibly introspective. Number two, because the way the song kicks off, it's an answering machine message left for Dave. And it's a friend who's enthusiastically saying, Dave, Mace was telling me about this song, Trying People, and he said it's incredible. I really want to hear it, so if you have some time, play it for me. The beat comes in, and it's a really, really beautiful, mellow beat accompanied by these children's voices singing. And it's really right away just a track that pulls you in. The song begins and Dave says, am I just another lost in the pack? We Horseshack shit, laugh it off. Horseshack being a reference to the character from the television show Welcome Back, Kotter. Horseshack was one of the students who had a very annoying laugh. Then he says, years just blow by. My eyes stay fixed, but the picture's kind of out of focus. I cry a lot, but admit to it. Enjoying life now, but I've been through it. Sometimes I wish that I could go back. No bills, no kids, just getting tore back. I want a wife. I love women. How can I front like I don't be in love with them? A little man that I can teach. A little sand, but not the beach. I figure excess will only bring an excessive amount of fussing. So when I'm gone, make sure the headstone reads, he did it for us. I'm like a modern day Jesus. I cherish warm thoughts like a gray goose. The rest of the verse is just full of incredible lines too. Yeah, respect her for that, because she's going to be somebody instead of somebody's baby mama. You see, young minds are now made of armor. I'm trying to pop a hole in your Yankee cap. Absorb me. The skies over your head ain't safe no more. And hip-hop ain't your home. And if it is, you're fucking up the crib, son. You make life look like I don't want to live one. Crazy. Then the hook comes in, and it's this beautiful call and response between Dave and a chorus of children. People, are you ready? Yes, we're ready. Are you really ready? We want to be ready. Ready for the change that may approach you? Yes. To follow down the path you're supposed to? Yes. It's beautiful. So Paz's verse is next, and he says, throughout my change to grow, some of my people got left behind. They didn't listen for the gun as I leaped from off the line. 13 years deep in this marathon of running, paid dues but still got bills to pay. When I came back around the way, old friends gave me dead eyes, fake smiles, half wide. We were supposed to rid the world of danger. These days we nod heads and small talk like polite strangers. It's natural to fall off but land close to the tree. I'll be there if they need me to be. And I know all my local shorties because they all know who I am. And lately they want to flip grammar instead of grams, like that's the only choice they got. They tell me they want to shake up the game, but they come to me for guidance to change. Shit, y'all, I need guidance myself. After Pasa's verse, the hook comes in again, the call and response with the kids, and then it fades out. It really leaves you with a lot to think about, and that's one of those songs for me that is just a thinking song. I put it on, and it gives me such beautiful perspective into how they were feeling at that time, and it was just so honest. I really, really love this song, and if you don't know it, definitely check it out. De La Soul is flat out one of the greatest hip-hop groups in history. Dave was such an amazing presence, spirit, and just a really, really talented MC and producer. He could make beats too. So the hip-hop world mourns. And like I said, I feel like I lost a friend. They just really spoke to me as a group, and as I matured and grew older, and they did too. They did it exactly right. So please take some time to check out not only this song, Trying People, but the entire catalog of De La Soul. It is truly groundbreaking hip hop and such honest expression. So those are my thoughts on De La Soul and Dave and the song Trying People. Dave, rest in peace. You will be missed. We love you. So thanks again for tuning in, and be good to each other. The world needs a little bit more of that these days. This is Mark G saying peace.
If you love hip-hop, it's to all the real MCs. Come on. If you love hip-hop, it's to all the real MCs. Come on. Come on. If you love hip-hop, it's to all